Okay, well, I just finished adjusting the brakes. We've got those set. I did not get new brake bands. They didn't look that bad, but with the adjustments we've got everything maxed out, and we're still a little too much free play on the brake pedals. They'll work, but I'll have to put new brake bands on it at some point. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll find out if they work good enough when I start actually running the tractor around. But that's something I can do in the future. Just wanted to give you an update on what we got accomplished today. We did get the gas tank painted and mounted. I'll spin you around so you can see that a little better. That doesn't look bad. Let's see, what else did we get done that you haven't already seen? I'm waiting on some parts. Waiting on the friction disc for the throttle lever. We test fitted the hood. We got the radiator in position. That does adjust. There's a bar here, right here, that is rigid here, but on this end there's a nut on each side of this plate so you can move this back and forth. That adjusts your radiator, which I don't think a lot of farmers realize exists, because a lot of times I'll find these things where the hood is ridden back up onto the gas tank here too far, or up onto this part too far, and wore down into it. This one fortunately hadn't gotten around to doing it, but it was because it was actually too far apart. Alright folks, what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a compression test on this to make sure that the pistons and rings are seated, and I did a decent job grinding the valve seats, make sure the valves are seated. Anything over 100 psi is good compression with this, so that's what we're shooting for. Hopefully we get a little bit more. Let's see what the gauge says. Okay, we're at 0, go ahead. Okay, that one says about 145, so we're real good with that one. That's the number 1 cylinder. Here goes number 2. That one's holding at about a 140. It was bouncing between 145 and 150. These two, the number 2 and the number 3 cylinders, are the two that I was most concerned with. Those were the two where the valve seats were rusted the most. Had to do the most grinding on them. Go ahead. That one says about 145. One more. We don't have some kind of a catastrophic change here. Things are looking really good. Of course, I got to be able to get this started in the threads to make it work with the hoodah. There we go. Line it up straight and it'll go. Okay, number 4 cylinder, last one. Let's see what it says. Go ahead. Yeah, that one says about 140, 145, somewhere in there. That's really good. So we're all set with that. We also had the valve cover off. Of course, once again, didn't think to turn the camera on, and spun the engine over to make sure we had oil pressure and oil up to here. I'll spin you around and show you the oil pressure gauge. That does deflect pretty good. I've got it covered up so we don't get paint overspray on it, but I'll spin that around, get you pointed at that, turn it over a few times so you can see that that does deflect to about center point, which is where it should be. So we got pretty good pressure. I do have a pressure tester I think I'll stick that on there at some point just to see what the actual oil pressure is, but the gauge is deflecting to where it should, so that tells me everything's probably pretty copacetic, and we do have oil up to our rocker arms like we should. So I'll spin you around, let you take a look. Hopefully I can get you pointed in the direction close enough so you can see it. Maybe not. I may have to take my wrap off of it. That's just there to keep the paint overspray off. It'll be kind of at an angle, but I think you can see it, hopefully. All right, go ahead, spinner. That looks pretty good for oil pressure. Going by the gauge. Like I said, I may get my testing unit out and tie it in down here just to see what we got for PSI. If I do, I'll bring you guys along. Alright, later. We did get the front rims cleaned and painted today. Don't worry about the paint on the tires. Those are junk tires. They're going away. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Paint them with the old tires on and ding them up a little bit, putting new tires on it. Or take the old tires off, paint them up, and still ding them up, putting the new tires on it. Or mess around, clean them up, prime them, put the new tires on, and tape off. And or sometimes I just paint the tire with grease and then paint the rims, and then you can wipe the grease off. There's a million ways to do it. I haven't found out the easiest one yet. So this is the way we're doing it this time. The center section of the hood, my battery's dying, so I've got to drag the cord with me here. We did get that started today. We got that down to the metal. There was a lot of Bondo on there. We decided to take the Bondo off. It was all cracked. So we're going to be taking the other side down to the metal, and we'll be doing some of our own Bondo and then some light filler and probably right down to some glazing compound to take care of some of the minor rust pits that are in it. And we'll go from there. When we get it cleaned up and primed, hopefully I'll remember to take a shot or two and you can see what it looked like. Other than that, I'll quit moving around here before I drop you. That's it for today. I've got to make a hardware run. I've got to get some bolts and some goodies, some sandpaper tomorrow. So I'm not sure beyond that how much progress we'll make, but I'll see what happens, whether I'm going to put this together tonight and post it, or if I'm going to wait. But either way, thanks, and we'll see you at some point. Later. Okay, well, I decided I would check the oil pressure just to give you guys something to watch, and out of my curiosity. The book that I have only tells me that if the oil pressure gets to 60 or 70 pounds, the relief valve opens, the spring. So that tells me we shouldn't have that much pressure. I'm guessing as fast as we can spin this engine with this starter, I'd be surprised if we got between 10 and 20 pounds. But let's see what we got just for the heck of it. I've hooked the gauge up to an elbow down here in the block. And the gauge is right here. We'll watch and see what happens when we spin her for a minute. Let me lower you down a little bit more. And I think you can probably see the gauge from there, I hope. Okay, go ahead, spin her over. In case you wondered what that noise was, those were the corks I had in the cylinders that I forgot to take out. So I don't know if you saw much, but I had to dodge a couple of them. That's not the first time I forgot to take those corks out, but that is kind of funny. Did you put those covers back on that side?
Yeah.
Yeah, just watch them so they don't suck cardboard in.
I was gonna say we could loosen the nuts up just a little.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt, but let's loosen them up. We got to loosen up some intake covers we put on. They're just pieces of cardboard, but I don't really want to suck the cardboard in, so we'll be a minute doing that, and then we'll get back to you. But I think I'll go look for my corks that are all over the floor.
There's one over here.
There's one here. One went whizzing by my ear. This is the one that hit me in the hat.
That was cool.
Yeah. We'll find them. Usually I have to go on the other side of the garage to find them. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I'll leave that in there just for giggles. I'll probably get a thumbs down from somebody, but
That's okay.
too bad they can't take a joke. I thought it was funny.
Oh, he was backfired.
Well, it shouldn't be. We got no spark plugs. We got nothing hooked up. I knew what it was immediately when it hit me in the hat.
Oh, yeah, so did I. Yeah, I'm thinking, well, we got debris. Okay, they're moved up. There's one of them. Ready to try her?
Yeah, I gotta make sure I dodge a cork here just in case.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead. We'll see what happens. Pretty good, actually. 40 pounds.
40 pounds, just turning it over.
Yep, just spinning it with the starter, so that's real good oil pressure. So I'm real happy. Real happy. Alright, so I gotta go on a cork on. Here's one of my corks right here. I just grind them down to a taper and screw them into the plug hole just to keep debris from getting in there. They sit in there pretty easy. They also come out if you do forget to take them out. They come out halfway decent. So with that, we're going to find 3 more corks and unhook the battery and go from there. Later. Alright folks, well, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and put together what I've got as of right now and post it instead of making you wait, and we'll see what's going on. I'm still trying to decide you'd rather watch a long video or a shorter video. Me, unless it's a very interesting long video, I'd rather watch 5 to 10 minute interesting video. So I'm going to try to start doing that. I'm still working on, you know, little clips here and there and putting stuff together and how I want to do my presentations, but I think I've got enough. I'm going to go in and edit and see that I can get it together and maybe get it posted today. I'm not sure. It's the 22nd, but anyway, if I can, you'll see it. If not, it'll be another day or two. But either way, once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate the viewers and the comments, and I try to get back to you as soon as I can. And with that, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Take care, folks.